Welcome to the kitchen. Today we're going to be making some loaves of bread. So we have several different types of bread makers that we can use. You can use a stand mixer with a bread hook, a food processor with a bread blade attachment, or today I'm going to be using my great-great-grandmother's 100-year-old bread maker, which is a bucket with a hand crank and a bread hook inside. You can mix it by hand. It will just take longer and be a little bit more work. So we have two major types of flour. These canisters I have all-purpose flour, and then we have bread flour. All-purpose flour comes from your summer wheat, which is a lower gluten. It'll leave you with a denser bread, whereas the winter wheat has a higher gluten content and will give you a fluffier, larger loaf of bread at the end. To get started, we'll measure out 2 cups of water between 100 and 105 degrees Fahrenheit. If the water is over 110, it will kill the yeast. To that water, we will add 2/3 of a cup of sugar and 6 teaspoons of dry yeast and mix thoroughly. We will then set it aside to let it proof while we get started on the rest of the ingredients. So to start off with, we're going to add 4 cups of flour to our bread maker, and then we're going to add our salt and mix it together. We're adding our 4 cups of flour and 9 teaspoons of salt, and we'll begin to mix that to bring it together. Once it looks like it's mixed through fairly well, we will add our yeast and begin adding more flour. So now we're going to add 6 teaspoons of oil. I'm using olive oil, 4 cups of hot water, and then we will mix this and then add our 2 cups of water and sugar with yeast. We add more flour and continue mixing until the dough gathers up onto the hook as a nice smooth ball. Now that our dough ball is now gathering up onto the hook and beginning to smooth out, and now moving as a single piece. So now we disassemble the bread maker, and we're going to need to oil our bowl so that our bread does not stick to the inside. Having a little oil on your hand will help keep the bread from sticking to you as you try to transfer it. Pull it off the hook. And place it in your bowl. Now place a damp rag over the top of it and place someplace warm to allow it to rise for roughly an hour. Now that we've let our dough rise for about 45 minutes to an hour, we are going to begin the process of kneading it out into our loaves. So we're going to uncover our bread. Make it nice. It's about double the size it was before. And we are going to need to put a little bit of flour on the countertop. So, we have our dough, and we're going to transfer it onto our countertop. We've now let it rise twice, where we let it rise till it's about double size, knock it back down, and then let it rise till it's about double the size again. I'm just going to knead it some. We're going for pretty much a smooth texture on the outside. Grab our bread pans. If you're using new bread pans for the first time, you're going to want to oil them or spray them with some non-stick spray, and then you're going to put your flour inside and just tap it until all of your sides are coated. After that, we just dump the excess back over the counter. And that, when it's ready, we will cut off a portion. This makes 6 loaves. So we're going to cut off roughly 1/6 of it. Just need a little bit, get roughly the shape we need. And then we're just going to plop it down in. And then we're going to put these someplace warm, let them rise for about another 30 minutes before we put them in the oven. Now we place our bread in the oven for 15 minutes at 400 degrees. And then another 30 minutes at 350. Now it's time to pull out our bread. It has been about 45 minutes. And our bread is nice and brown. And when you tap on the top, it has a nice hollow thud. Here we have it, our finished loaves of bread. Quick smear of butter gives you a nice gloss across the top of them.